Hey guys, how's it going? All right, let's get back to this here. We got a couple of these things going. Um, Let me share my screen and show you guys what was voted on. It's actually interesting you guys voted on these. The first week that you guys did not vote for the AI trading strategies, but we can work on those in the background, like I said. So here's what you guys voted on. So we had a vote for the Alpha Pix option strategy. So we could definitely get that moving. And I think it's been actually working on that in the background the whole time. So that is good. Yeah, it's actually working on it here. Where is that? Yeah, okay. So we can look into that. And then prediction markets. That's pretty cool. It's interesting that you guys voted on that. So we can get moving further along with the prediction market stuff as well. So like I said, I have it working on my computer. Um, what do you guys want to do specifically with prediction markets? Like my thought process is let's get it to work on BotSpot, right? Because it works on my computer, but then how can we get this thing to be functional on BotSpot, right? That's kind of my thought process. But what do you guys think? What would you want to see happen?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I just want to try and understand how to hook into it, right? And um, I basically I don't have any um idea really how to I mean, I'm not a like a betting kind of person, like with
Mhm.
respect to, trading equities and options and stuff. I always have a like when I trade options, I have a pretty good idea that, I mean, I know like relatively what I can what I can accomplish with that. And I try to um I don't consider it a bet, whereas the prediction market seemed like more like a bet, right? So
Yeah, literally that's what it is. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
exactly. But
Exactly
I
what
mean, but the thing is, I want to like have some way of like not thinking of it as a bet, but um informed bet, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's the way I think of thinking about it. So, I wouldn't want to just randomly say, gee whiz, well, I mean, um gosh, I think it's the I think this is going to happen at on whatever it is. And that's sort of that's not the way I think, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I want to try and see how, what I can do to make it an informed bet rather than just like a gut feeling, right? Anyway,
Right.
that's my thought there. But yeah, but and that's why I like the arbitrage things, right? Because that's you know if it's going to work or not. I mean, if you see a opportunity, it's unless you're mistaken by the um like for instance the wording of the contract, which I mean I did see something about this, but uh, um I forget where it was, probably Wall Street Journal. But some of these contracts, they after the fact they have like somewhat of an interpretation that maybe you didn't get at first. I don't know if there was some controversy about um one of the prediction market things that uh, wasn't it wasn't it was after the thing expired, it wasn't clear, I guess the way it was worded wasn't precise enough. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of risk of that sort of thing on
yeah,
it, for
right.
sure. Like when we were looking at arbitrage, that was like the main risk, right? Because
Mhm.
like, one of them says on this day, the other one says before this day, right?
Yeah,
So like that alone, like it causes a lot
right,
of risk, right? I mean,
right, sure.
it's risk that's
Absolutely.
manageable, right? But
Mhm.
but it is risk. You're right
Right,
about that.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, one way that we could do arbitrage that maybe is a little bit easier than going directly to the Polymarket and Kalshi. We have two new brokers and we have to get them both to work properly. Um, One way that might be easier is stock market or ETFs or options market or whatever versus Polymarket, right? Because if Polymarket is, for example, there's like earnings reports, right? It predicts earnings reports. So if Polymarket is saying, we're 80% likely to beat expectations, but the stock hasn't responded, that's another arbitrage opportunity as well, right? It doesn't have to be
Uh,
between both prediction markets. It could be prediction market and a different like equity options or whatever.
yeah, sure. Right, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think that's like an easier path. Like, I mean, kind of what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is like, let's just get it to work first, right? And then it really does seem like the arbitrage thing is a pretty important aspect of this. So we could actually look into doing the whole arbitrage thing, right? Even if it's not between two prediction markets, it can still be between one prediction market and a different broker, right?
Yeah, that's actually good. That's actually an easier path. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then later on we add Kalshi, and then now we could do like multiple brokers and whatever, right? Then that becomes easy. Gil, what do you think?
I would like it to pick the handicap for me, the Belmont fifth race. Tell me which horse to race on. That's where I'd like to go. I'm all about the betting side of it, absolutely. So now I know so little, Robert, about that stuff, and the only time I've ever even glanced at it is when you've mentioned it on here. So I I'm excited about it because I know so little about it, and I know it's seems to be where the future wave is headed, and that's where you need to head. So I'd like to know more about it. That's my side. I don't have any druthers or even how to even put anything together. I'm just looking to learn more about it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I think that path in general makes sense then, right? Let's see it working on my computer. Once I have it work on my computer, let's try to get it to work on BotSpot, right? And then once it's working on BotSpot, then we can start talking strategies, right? And we could talk about, connecting to more than one broker at a time. That's like a separate feature in and of itself. That will definitely take a lot of work, I'm sure. Um, but I think that path kind of makes sense. Just like get it working on BotSpot, see if we can actually build some strategies and try to actually see if we can get that to function. Um, we could also spend time on back testing. I think, well, when I created it, it did not include back testing, but I don't know how hard that would be to add. We could explore that avenue as well if you guys want. Would you find that useful to back test Polymarket?
Yeah, well, I would definitely like to see how to get their data, you know? I mean, because I think that's really important.
Their data is fairly easy to get.
Uh,
That's why I'm saying this. It's like pretty straightforward data.
yeah,
But back testing it can take some time. Like that in itself might take a while, right? I don't know how long, but you know. So that's why
yeah.
I'm asking, 'cause is it worth spending the time on it, right?
Mhm.
I'd ask what adds value to a bot spot and what keeps you on the leading edge of these type of things, and that'd be the direction I'd go. You know, let's make it work. Let's make it a value added for your website.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, yeah,
Okay, cool. So
I
let's
mean, one of the things is that as far as like I mean, I haven't ever tried to get data from them, so I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm kind of interested in seeing how
it
easy
should
or
work
hard
pretty
it is.
easily with LumiBot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It should be pretty straightforward to grab this data from
Uh-huh.
Polymarket for LumiBot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did we I think we added documentation around that even. Let me just check our GitHub. GitHub and LumiBot. This thing is definitely still growing. Let's see, actually. We're getting a lot of GitHub stars. Where did that go? Again, it disappeared. What the hell? What are we at? We're at 8.1. Doesn't even say anymore. Okay. Um, yeah, in our, I think we mentioned poly market here. Yeah. We bought spot, poly market is on the list. Prediction markets, poly market trading and backtesting. Yeah, so we actually do talk about it in our documentation. Yeah, so this is pretty well documented. I mean, I think this will just kind of work, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm overly optimistic, but poly market, there it is, one of our brokers. Trading broker asset. We have like a new asset type, which is a prediction contract. That's a new asset type. Okay, so why don't we let's jump into this. Let's see what we could do here. In the meantime, I'm gonna get an agent to look into this again. Like, what the hell? It's a little small thing. Can you please take a look at the LumiBot project? And for some reason, again, on this page, if you go down to project growth, for some reason, the graph is gone again. It says your GitHub token is invalid or expired. I thought we fixed this. Like you could read chat history and stuff. Like we've already fixed this. Why is this broken again? Okay. And then let's do. Okay, so we want to improve on our poly market integration. First of all, I want to make sure that it's actually working on my computer, so we can place trades and see if all that works. We got it integrated. We worked on documentation for it, so it seems to be pretty well documented in LumiBot. Um, Whether it's trading, I thought we got it to trade, but we could double check whether that's working correctly and whether there's any other issues with trading there. Because it's a little weird. When I log into my Polymarket account, let me actually show you what I see. Oh, for some reason I got this here. Computer's going a little slow right now. Come on. It's crazy how fast the computer goes from being the best in the world to slowing down. Yeah, so look at this. So basically, I guess I deposited $29 and then it shows that two got withdrawn, $5 each, but I have no idea where this money went. I think it has something to do with the crypto side of things of how we traded it. There's probably a bunch of documentation around this. So what happened to those each of those $5 and why is it not in my position history or anything like that? We're doing it through the API and through LumiBot, so there's probably some sort of disconnect there. But I would really like this to show up on the regular website. So like, why is that not showing up there, first of all? And like, what happened to my bets? I don't know what happened to them. And then we also want to, so first of all, we want to get this to work on my computer properly, see it actually bet. I want to be able to see it on the website, confirm the bet happened, watch the bet, and we can actually trade with it. I want to make sure that that all works properly. And um, then we probably want to explore the idea of back testing. And does that even make sense? Or how difficult would it be to get back testing to work? That's something I'm on the fence about whether it even makes sense for us to do or not. It depends on the complexity of it. Is it going to be something that's easy to do or not? And then we want to get this thing to actually work on BotSpot itself so people can like connect their poly market and actually trade with it. But I have a feeling that there's something weird with the setup because like it's not syncing with the website properly. So I mean the ideal would be that there's some sort of OAuth connection or some way of like I mean, I guess API keys is maybe the way that we did it now. That's okay, right? OAuth would be better if possible. I don't even know if that's possible or not. And then, being able to have this actually work on BotSpot and be able to trade a strategy on BotSpot with Polymarket, right? I'd like to figure out how to get that to work. So what do you think? Can you please do your research on this and let me know what you think? And what do you think should be our game plan here? What do you think we should do? And what questions do you have for me? Let me know what questions you have for me. Okay, cool. So I'll let it go off and do its research. All right, and then this alpha picks thing finished up as well. So let's see. Okay, so it's saying here, okay, bottom line, no, the deployment is not working correctly end-to-end schedule. The latest runs failed. Schedule needs attention because the schedule remained enabled, but the last invocation failed. It does not mean the scheduler was disabled. Okay, the existing test actually protects this existing behavior. The historical return endpoint currently has 8 daily points from the front end downloads those. Okay, this is stupid that it's hiding that. Okay, it must not override a new broker value with the final state chart value. Okay, what is failing? The current deployment uses version 103. It does not contain direct selection logic. Calculate the current top two eligible picks. Compare them with the broker positions and exit positions are no longer targets. However, has two implementation defects. Schedule state serializes LumiBot asset objects into dictionaries. On that next run, it unchanged symbols are not reconstructed. After submitting exits, the strategy returns immediately because this runs once daily. Replacements are not purchased during the same invocation. Stop earlier because self-effects have not refreshed. So first of all, I disagree with you about this alpha pick source. You're saying that it hasn't refreshed since July 7th. I don't care if it hasn't refreshed since July 7th. Maybe we should take a look into that really quickly as well. Um, Let me actually check the database real quick. Let's see. Stupid Windows computer restarted itself and it required me to log in or something. So I'll look into that separately. What? I'm on my Windows computer here. Okay. It's a Windows computer. We need to figure out how to make this thing more resilient. Okay, so we'll focus on that. Missing UI items. Then please don't worry about the missing UI items. We're gonna do all that with another agent. That's not your purview. Just leave that alone. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, and then in terms of the allocation per symbol, um, I think this needs to be almost like a scaling thing. So 25% is a lot, right? Yeah, you're saying you recommend this adaptive per symbol budget. Okay, because the thing is that a small account, the problem with a small account is that, yeah, I guess what you're doing here is it's a floor, right? So it's either 15% of the account value, so a $5,000 account times 15% would be 500, $750, but that's too small to actually buy an options position reasonably. So then you're saying that it should do 1250, which is 25% of 5,000. Is that 25% of 5,000? Yeah, 1250. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I agree with that change. Yeah, so basically the idea here is that a smaller account will take more risk at the beginning and then lower its risk as the account gets bigger, assuming it gets bigger, right? Right. So presumably, if we had a 68% drawdown, so I guess presumably if we had a 68% drawdown at 25% allocation, then if we lower that to 15%, that's almost half. That'll bring us to like a 30, let's say 40% drawdown. That's still a bit aggressive. I mean, I would go even further down. I'd go to like 12% personally. What do you guys think? Like I think a drawdown of something around 30% seems re more reasonable to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have to agree. 30% is something that you can tolerate, you know.
Yeah.
You don't like it, but it's not like gonna,
30's always been my kind of
yeah.
target to try to get even bots 30 or below.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of been my target as well, just because that's kind of what the S&P 500 does, right? Like
Mm.
an S&P 500 over a 5 to 10 year period, it's going to be around a 35% drawdown. So that's kind of the way I think about it, right? It's like that's kind of in line with what the S&P 500 does over that same time period, right? Yeah, and I think in order to get there, I think we'd have to do like maybe 10% or 11% or 12%. But for a smaller account, you have to have a minimum. Like there's like a minimum size. But you don't want to go so high as the minimum that it's gonna like blow up the account, right? So there's a trade-off, right? Okay. All right. Okay, and then in terms of the game plan, you're saying repair the bot details, key performance, current positions, historical, da da da. Replace the full page warning with a compact amber operational banner. What? What full page warning? Oh, that's the bot details page. Yeah, that's important. Get rid of that full page warning thing. I agree with that. Um, and they're saying fixed snapshot precedence. Current broker snapshot owns da da da. Add explicit freshness timestamps. Okay, sure. They're saying extend performance history independently. Use the healthy broker snapshot pipeline to continue account history even when the strategy code crashes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why we have those snapshots. That makes sense. I'm wondering whether we should give all that stuff to another agent so that you can focus just on these strategies. If you could explain those three things a bit more, I could give it to another agent and it can kind of fix all this stuff. Then you're saying number four is saying expose real metadata, add revision version. Yeah, same with that, same thing. Any of this like bot details page stuff. Like let's get you to focus on the alpha picks and then we'll have another agent focusing on the UI stuff. Right, and they're saying repair version 103 into a new revision. That makes sense. Reconstruct runtime objects, every invocation. Okay. And they're saying make rotation, restart safe, determine desired holdings from the current selection criteria, compare against broker positions and orders, sell non-targets, buy missing targets only after buying power is confirmed. Okay. You're saying fix the alpha picks producer. Um, honestly, don't worry about freshness. Like you should not be paying attention to freshness. That is irrelevant. Okay. It should not matter. If this API says this is where it's at, then own that. You know, the freshness thing is a separate issue that I'll work on in a different way. Don't worry about freshness. That is actually bad. I don't like it. The fact that it was not fresh, so it just doesn't trade anything. That's so stupid. That like actively introduced a bug. You tried to reduce it, you tried to get rid of bugs, and you introduced a bug in doing that. Right? So I don't think you should work on number one, two, three, or four. You should give me something that I could give to another agent to explain what it needs to do for those. Um, I kind of agree with your number five, but I still don't think it's enough, right? Um, an Alpha Pix producer, I disagree with your number seven. Like I would get rid of that guard completely. I hate it when you add guards like that. It's not a good idea, right? And then we should run these new back tests. This I agree with, right? And it's saying run isolated scheduled paper proof. No, what do you, no, I want to just run this thing. I want this thing to work. And then he's saying prevent another stale revision regression, make file edit tools require the latest revision ID plus an edit rationale. Yeah, I don't know about this game plan. A lot of this stuff needs to be changed. So please give me a better game plan. Tell me what I should give to this other agent, and let's talk about like actually how we're going to fix this properly. I disagree with a lot of your game plan. And let me answer your questions here. Your first question is what drawdown target should guide the $100,000 sizing test? I recommend I would go for 30% or less, not 40%. And then your second question is for the $5,000 account, should the strategy select the next ranked affordable eligible pick when one of the literal top two is unaffordable? Yes, don't we already have that? I thought that was already built in. Then your third question is, should performance history follow the same strategy and verified broker account across revision and credential replacements or restart for every deployment? What? Yeah, it definitely should. Isn't that already working? I thought that that was already the case. So why are you talking about number three? Is that broken in some sense or what? Okay, so please go off and do your research in detail. Come back to me with a very well-researched and detailed game plan with all the stuff that you are going to work on, and also let me know what I should give to the other agent to work on, and then let me know what other questions you still have for me. And for the other agent, I expect a handoff file for the other agent. Or at least actually maybe not a whole handoff file. I don't think we really need that, but at least like a paragraph of like all the technical details for each of these things that you wanted to do. Okay, and then I want to see your game plan that's very well researched with a lot of detail behind it. And then please let me know what other questions you have for me, because I'm sure you have more questions for me. Okay, so I'll let that roll. And then this is the one that's going to be working on this stuff. Let's see what this is. Okay, so can you give me the full and detailed game plan around everything? And then another agent, I was working with the alpha picks only calls failing strategy. That task, if you want to read what we've been talking about there, you can do that the last like turn or two. But basically, I think we need to add these items to the list as well. So I want to see the full list with everything, including these items here. And then let me know what is the full and detailed game plan that you think we should do, and what questions do you have for me? Okay, we got that going. The AI trading team is still running. Ray Dalio, okay, this is good. That's actually going. Wait, why did it get reverted? Why, how did this get reverted? We fixed it and then it got broken again. Please explain to me what happened. Oh, 4 minutes later. Okay. Insert live store history URL containing an encrypted sealed token. Okay, so is this now fixed? I'm gonna refresh the page on GitHub. I still don't see it on GitHub. This is not fixed. All right, so we got that going. And then where is our poly market? So it's still going through all the poly market stuff. Okay, so it's going around this. I found a real yes position. But a screenshot shows exactly remaining on the website. I'm now checking whether those, okay, 2 withdrawals are not explained by the saved implementation record. There's a material constraint around the wallet UI mismatch. Polymarket's current official rules list Ontario's close only on both the front end and API. Since the machine is in Toronto, a new buy may now be rejected even though the same credentials traded successfully. We can use a VPN if we need to, by the way. That's how we traded this, I think, in the first place. I don't know if we need to do that when we're doing all the crypto stuff, but we could use a VPN if necessary, just to let you know. Okay, so let that know. We got all these other ones running right now. Okay, so we got all these agents running right now. They're all taking some time. Okay, so I guess since these things are all running, why don't we take a quick break? Because it's going to take a couple minutes for them to finish anyways, and then we'll come back and continue, all right? Okay, I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes. Hey guys, how's it going? Just looking at the Windows computer here. So Windows computers are such a pain. Like they really restart very often. It's like there's no way to stop Windows computers from restarting themselves. Have you guys ever been able to figure that out? Those of you that have Windows?
If you turn off updates, that sometimes helps. It don't allow it to take Windows updates by itself. Make it ask you before it does it.
I did do that. I disabled
Yeah.
Windows updates and I disabled a bunch of other stuff, but like for some reason it's still restarting. I'm
Huh.
actually wondering, 'cause the power went out in my house on July 7th, so I wonder if that's the reason why. Because this Windows computer, I just realized it was in a state where it wasn't like logged in and it wasn't checking these alpha picks for a couple of days.
It
So I
looks.
wonder,
I was going to ask you if there's anything different changed because I feel terrible. I haven't checked my stuff in about a month since I've been dicking around with everything else, and it looks like it hasn't. It looks like it's been acting weird the last couple of days.
yeah, I mean, it should be fine. It shouldn't have affected any positions because it's on the 1st and 15th of every month,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And
It's the
the
rebalance stuff that's looking different. It usually when it makes diff, it's amazing, Robert. It's balancing and adding positions, taking away positions, even before adding new stock or whatever. So sometimes I see that. So I don't get excited about it. I just leave it for a couple of days, and if I thought I had a problem, I'd just restart it again, just recommit it and do it. So I'll leave it alone. If you think you'll have your Windows back up and run, I'll leave it tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fine because it seems like the outage happened on July 7th, which is a week ago,
Right.
but there would have been no changes in between that,
Yeah. No, it's
right?
fine. And also, what else am I gonna say? I mean, I can't shit. Oh, Alpha Pix has not been doing too well as of late, actually.
No, it hasn't.
No, has not. I just looked today again while you were out, and I think they are down about 3% for the last month, which is really strange. I mean, they usually always hitting on all cylinders. Let me see here, Alpha.
How's the market doing over that time though, right?
Yeah. Well, they do I look at the 1 month and they're down 10.38%, surprisingly enough. And S&P is at 0.86 plus. So Alpha's had a rough 30 days.
Yeah, looks like S&P. It looks like it's pretty flat. At least, actually, let me share my screen. I just realized I'm not sharing. So here's S&P, and it looks pretty much flat. It's down 0.4% over the
Right.
past month, right? Yeah, from June 15th to July 14th. Yeah, so exactly the past 30 days.
Yeah.
And then Alpha Pix, you said, is down a little bit,
If
huh?
you go to Alpha Picks and you do their portfolio total return and you click on the 1 month, gives you a minus 10.38.
Let's take a look. And take a look at my bots and take a look at Alpha Pix. There it is, Alpha Pix live version. I recently put some more money into it. There we go. If we go the
Good day
past
today.
few
Yeah.
days, oh, for some reason that didn't switch properly. It says, oh no, you know what? Because I deposited money, so it's not counting that correctly.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm on the Alpha Pix website, so I'm looking at their whole return.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that big jump? Did something happen to one of the?
I deposited money. That was me putting
More
money.
G,
Oh,
put
I
more
see.
G.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. That'd be nice if it just like all of a
Yeah.
sudden dropped that much.
Yeah,
Um, but no, it's let me actually get an agent to look into this because this is something that we installed a little while ago. It never really finished up. And I know Gil, you've been talking about this. I think I think you're running yours on Tradier as well, right?
Yeah, mine's Tradier and Render. Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, so Tradier is the important part, right? Getting it from the broker. Um, so I'm gonna get it to take a look at this because we added this ability to like deal with deposits and withdrawals better,
Oh,
but
okay.
never fully finished it. So we can kind of get that ball rolling here. So can you take a look at this strategy or this bot that I have running on BotSpot and take a look at LumiBot and how all this stuff works and everything. Notice here that my return looks very, very large. It looks 55% return, but that is not true because I made a deposit. So that's why the account value went up. But it's not properly dealing with deposits. And we started working on this. We got a lot of stuff done, but never really finished it. So can you take a look at this and tell me like what do you think we need to do to get this fully working? Because it should be like I don't know what the word for it is, dollar cost averaging. I get it's probably not the right word, but basically adjusting for the fact that we made a deposit, right? So how much of that has been built in LumiBot, in BotSpot, in Bot Manager, and all those different things? I don't know where exactly this lives. Please look into this, and then how do we get this specific strategy? I'd like to get this thing to actually work properly. Um, you could check through AWS as well, figure out how to make this thing work properly so that it actually handles deposits better and withdrawals and all that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so we'll get that to research it. Yeah, it's actually a very good opportunity to do that because now I have an account where I've done this, right? Whereas before I had to always bug you to look at your account. And that's one of the reasons why it took so long, right? Like we never got
Yeah,
to finish because I don't want to be like constantly, oh, restart your bot, you know? So this is actually the perfect scenario.
yeah, good.
Yeah. And then another thing, so this is the Alpha Pix. So you're running a different version of Alpha Pix, by the way, Gil. I keep telling you, I think it would be a good idea to switch to BotSpot. This kind of makes
Yes.
everything a lot easier.
Right.
But I'm
You're
looking at
running
this.
yours through BotSpot, right?
What was that?
You're running yours through BotSpot.
Yeah, I have been for quite some time now. Like this is when I launched this. I launched this on December of 2025. So I've been running it on BotSpot for quite a while now. Um, it's been beating the market. Look at this. It beat the market for a while, right? But then I guess lately it's hard to tell because I don't have that like deposit thing. But one thing I have noticed is that it's not using all the cash in the account. Like $3,000 cash just lying around is a lot.
I usually run, yeah, somewhere always over 1,000. I've got 40. I think the balance right now is 47,000 in my trade year. So I'm up about 7,000 on the account. I was up about 12 or 13. So this last month, it has settled quite a bit. But I usually run 1,000, 1,500, 1,800 extra cash in the account. And I often wonder if I just went in and grabbed another piece of stock and purchased it manually, but then I'm afraid it rebalances. It looks at the balance every day, and I'm afraid it would kick it out.
It probably will. We'll probably fight you on that. The better change is to just make this thing have better logic because probably the reason why, like for example, for me, I've $3,000 sitting around. It's probably because there's some symbols that are too expensive to buy, right?
Exactly. That's
Seems
happened
a bit
before.
strange
Yeah.
at $3,000, but let's see.
Feel like micro technologies almost $1,000 a share.
Yeah, that one's going to be quite expensive. Uh, I know
Yeah,
because
Light is also 841. Oh, gee, and SanDisk. I've got one share of SanDisk, and that's $1,700.
yeah, so those two alone could account for this, right?
Right.
But we can change the logic. So let me ask about this. So can you please do some investigation into this? Basically, we have this alpha pick strategy running, but I have so much cash sitting around. I think we need to change the logic a little bit so I don't have so much cash sitting around. Can you investigate this a bit and tell me what you think we should do to fix that in the strategy logic so that I don't have so much cash sitting around? I'm assuming it has something to do with some shares being too expensive or something like that. So please do your research and let me know what you think we should do here.
Going to a broker that does fractional shares would also probably be smart. Things have worked, and I just don't like to, if it isn't broke, is broken, don't fix it. But
Yeah, that makes
fractional shares, being able to buy fractional shares would be a help too.
yeah. I mean, if you want to use Alpaca, you could do that.
They do fractional shares.
Yeah, they do. They do. I wonder if Tradier supports it too. Maybe they might
I
also
I
support
don't
that.
think so. I think they're full shares. Tradier, I think, is only full shares. And how about
Yeah.
Schwab? Do they do fractional shares or not? I don't think so. I think yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
Um, do Schwab and Tradier support fractional shares? Yep. So Schwab does. You can buy fractional shares for as little as $1. And then Tradier also supports fractional shares, but with specific focus on dollar-based investing. Oh yeah, I remember they did some weird stuff like this. Requires a minimum $5 per transaction for exchange listed equities. Selection available on most exchange listed US equities. Yeah, it's like some weird thing where you have to like buy by the dollar amount. I don't like the way that Tradier did it. They did it in some weird way. I
yeah,
remember
something.
looking into it. Yeah. But Schwab supports it outright, you know. I
Yeah,
don't know if we support the fact that Schwab supports it, right? But that's an easy add if we needed to do that.
yeah.
More and more, I'm just starting to like Schwab. They're a great broker overall.
As I get towards the retirement part, I find myself leaning more and more. I'm pushing most of my rollovers, IRA rollovers, that kind of stuff, all to Schwab. It just works for me. And the bad part is once you get once you break the code and you're comfortable with trading and getting things done, you really have a hard time jumping to a different platform. You just don't feel confident. I can go buy calls and spreads and all kinds of stuff at Schwab, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it in other brokerages.
I agree. And you know what? What's funny is as soon as we added Schwab to our list of brokers, we added it in, and when we added it, it was like it was working, but like we didn't have a chance to like test it that much because just not enough people used it.
Right. Yep.
But as soon as we added that into our website, like literally every single person who has signed up over the past month, or maybe even longer, has only been Schwab.
Hmm.
Really, that's interesting.
Every single one of them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. The other brokers are good. They've all got their pluses, but I got stuck on TAWS, Thinkorswim,
Yeah.
and I'm just comfortable with it. And that's where I trade all my covered calls and that kind of stuff. And it's just once you get confident about making trades in a platform, it's very hard to spring yourself over to something else.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like what I think we're gonna start doing, actually was literally just talking to my wife about this like 5 minutes ago. I went downstairs. Um, what we're gonna start doing as a company is we're gonna start advertising specifically towards Schwab customers, right? So we're gonna be
Yeah,
saying, if you follow Schwab on social media or if you visit Schwab or if there's any kind of indication that you have anything affiliated with Schwab, we're gonna basically advertise to you and say, hey, do you want to turn your Schwab account into an AI trading account? Come to us,
right.
right?
Something else you had thought about it, and my biggest thing for Tuesday nights is for me to get on here and find out what you've been doing and what you've changed and what your outlook is. I get an update from you on just how things are going. But anybody who's not on Tuesday nights, how do they find out what's new, what's changed? How do you status folks? You would almost behoove you to have an open forum once a month or something where everybody could get together and you could go over what changes you've made, just kind of state of the union maybe or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I find it very hard to find new things without Tuesday night. You know, knowing what
Yeah,
you're doing, the
yeah, that makes
change,
sense.
put so much effort into what you do. And the poor thing is, the people I think are subscribed really don't get visibility of it. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
often thought there'd be maybe somehow you'd, God, I hate to be, newsletter or, I would say a Q&A that you had once a month where people could get on it. You're going to have to, advertise it and get people built up about it. But I would love to see that. I'd love to see, just to come in with a time frame and have you kind of talk about, this is where we were and this is what we changed and this is what you can try out now and give people an idea of the growth of the website because I don't see it unless I really felt blind for a month. It was just, there was nothing to look at, nothing to see. And since I was missing my Tuesday, so yeah, it might be worth the thought of putting something together like that, some type of State of the Union or update, website update, progress, bot progress report. I don't know, something like that, and not ad nauseum, but just enough to give people a heads up on what's new for the people who care. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So I have thought about that a lot. I completely agree with you across everything you said, right? I'll tell you what we're currently doing is I don't know if you're aware, but this session that we do, we turn it into like YouTube videos, right?
Okay.
So we take we do shorts of these videos. So if you follow us on YouTube, you'll see that we take this session and we turn it into like little YouTube shorts, right? And then we also do like longer YouTube videos of this as well. So you can like find that on YouTube, right? The
So you can
recordings.
always go back and kind of get a little flavor for what's going on. So that's good to know. I don't pay that much attention to YouTube with your stuff. So I guess I should. That's a good resource. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's it goes to YouTube and it goes to like all the other social platforms, right? Like Instagram, whatever that we put into all of them. So that's one thing, right? But I still don't think that's good enough, right? Because that's still very fragmented, right? It's cool because like one of the reasons why I kind of do this at the beginning of classes is like to update everybody, right? And it's not just you, it's updating other people, right?
Yeah, no, I
Um,
love that. I love that.
right.
Yeah.
But I do think we could go further than that, right? So we've actually thought about like making AI being able to do this, right? Right now, my main focus is on just getting this thing to work really well, solid website, like really,
100%. Yep.
right? That's kind of the main focus right now, and I think it will be for the next few weeks, right? But then after like when it's gone to the point where it's like now like really bug free, there's no issues, people sign up and just like love it, right? Which I think we're really starting to hit that inflection point. Because like and then Gil, this is something you told me the whole time. You've been saying this for a while. Um, is people just want to trade, right? People just want to use real money and trade. So we're
Yeah.
really going down that path, right? So
Yeah.
that's why this whole thing, like I don't know if you saw what I did with Maurizio earlier, where like you can just get your indicators and just place a trade, right? That's not fully working yet, but it should be in the next week or two, right? That is already super valuable. You don't need to make a strategy. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
just link your brokerage account. We could analyze your positions. You could talk to the AI about your positions and your trades and what you're doing. You could get it to research SEC filings and whatever the heck else you want. You could do that all that automatically, right? And then you can actually place trades directly through the AI. You don't have to make a strategy, right? So that's kind of like the path that we've been going down. And I think that's been working out pretty well, right? I think if we can kind of focus on that, then it makes everything else so much easier, right? Because now we could just say, join BotSpot, link your Schwab account. Now you have AI, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's great. I think that's phenomenal. I yeah, that's exactly the path I'd like to see you take. That sounds great.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea here, right? And then yeah, once we have that all working, that like it's just easy. You come in, link your broker, you can start trading really quickly. Once we kind of have that whole path like really, really solid, right? Because That's literally all that, like I said, all the people signed up over the past month. We get like two or three new subscribers every week, right? And like every single one of them does the same thing. They come in, they link their Schwab account, and they try to start trading. All of them.
Hmm,
Every single one of them, without exception. Like literally, not a single one was different, right? And that tells you something, right? Like, I mean, if someone's using your product to do stuff, right? Let's make that work well, right?
right,
Sam Altman, the guy that runs OpenAI, he has a saying of like, and actually a lot of guys at Y Combinator, they have a saying of like, if people are using your product to do something it cannot currently do, and they're trying to hack their way around it, that should be your product.
right. That's your direction. Yeah.
Right.
It's
So
solving
once,
problems. Anything you do in a business is always about solving people's problems, and that's what brings them to your website, and that's what keeps them with the success of getting the answers to the problems or creating the bots that work.
right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so once we have that path just working like perfect, like I mean, because we had some issues, like I said, the when people connected to Schwab before, like we didn't test it very thoroughly, or like we did, but like it wasn't like it's different when you have a lot of people banging on it, right? Because like you could test it and you can make it work, but then like what someone will come out and do like the weirdest thing that like I never would have thought of, right? And you get a couple of those people like that, and then you keep going through it. It's like, for example, like after hours trading. We didn't even think about that, right? Or like there's a guy that was like canceling and trading, canceling and trading, canceling and trading. It's like this very quick sort of thing. And like it just didn't work well for that. So now we fixed all those and we're kind of going through all the like little details. So the more people that bang on it, the better. Um, and once we have all that stuff working, then now I just want to like just advertise this, right? Let's get people advertise to anyone who is a Schwab customer, come in, link your account, and now you have AI trading with Schwab.
Yeah, that should be your social media focus on a campaign of
Yeah.
advertising Schwab and the capabilities of linking their bots. So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I think it's perfect. I think that's a great focus.
Yeah. With any luck, Schwab will acquire us. Yeah.
I hope so. I thought we had Tradier talked into it for a while there. We certainly had a lot of attention that time you came to Florida. So I thought definitely something was going to break there. Damn it! But
I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't been pursuing it that hard because for the same reason as Schwab, I want to make sure that Tradier works really well, right? And then like once this is all working very, very well, now we can show, okay, look at this. Look at what people can do here. Look at
right.
what they're able to get, right? Then the conversation becomes something different, right?
Yeah, you don't want to go off half baked and unprepared. You want to make sure everything works
Yeah.
4-0, and then you've got something to talk about. So I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. Exactly. That's kind of my tact. I mean, for better or for worse, like there's people that'll tell you try to raise money earlier and that sort of thing, but like I don't know. I was trying to raise money. I spent a couple months on it, and it's just like until you really start seeing that traction, nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of it, right? Nobody cares. But if you show them a graph up and to the right, look at how many new customers we got. Now they care, right?
Well, I pray for
So,
that viral moment for BotSpot. So every night I put you in there for that viral moment that takes off like wildfire, like just burns the field in an instant, and everybody catches fire. You know.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I think the Schwab thing could be that,
But it
right?
has possibilities, and you're dealing with the largest broker, and it's got the biggest following. Yeah, it's the right place to be.
They're the biggest broker on earth, you know. The
Yep.
only one actually there's one broker that has more assets under management, which is Fidelity. But Fidelity has assets under management because of 401ks, which is different, right? That's not like the space that we play in, right? So in terms of like a broker that like people like self-directed are trading, Schwab is the number one by
Yeah.
far.
Where
Yeah.
the traders show up. Yeah, that's where they play. Yep.
Yeah. So we make that work well. We make it so you come in, it's very easy. You link your Schwab account, super simple. Once you link your Schwab account, we can help you analyze, like use AI to analyze all of your trades, analyze all of your positions. You can search SEC filings, you can look at indicator charts and whatever by talking to the AI, and then allow it to place trades, right? And that's like instant. That'll work for you right away once you subscribe with Schwab. And then you could get into the deeper stuff, right? You can get into, okay, well, what if I want to build a strategy that's automated? What if I want to back test it? Then you could kind of go even deeper, right? But, I really just want to get that initial thing working really, really well. You come in, link Schwab, start trading. Boom. I want you to be able to start trading within 5 minutes. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah.
that's the goal here, right? And we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Schwab is starting to work really well. People still do really weird stuff with it. Um, like I said, one guy's been like doing after hours trading, so we had to fix that up. Another guy was doing like crazy fast in and out trading, so we had to fix that up. But overall, Schwab has been working quite well. Um, I have my Schwab accounts linked now. We're still working on that whole thing of like really getting information from the brokers. But yeah, I mean, we're getting to that point. I think by next week, or maybe a week after, right? In a week or two, I think we'll be there, right?
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you want to use Schwab, go for it. I think it's a fantastic broker. They make it really easy to open new accounts too. So like I actually have like 6 accounts with Schwab now. Just make it really simple to do that. So then you could also isolate your strategies, right? Okay, so BotSpot did the analysis here. Okay, if a target allocation is, for example, $150, but the stock costs $400 per share, the strategy cannot buy zero point 0.3 shares. The strategy also does not currently use the one decimal fraction sizing you previously requested, and it can't do that with Tradier anyways. The current running deployment currently holds this. Amazing. However, the live logs show repeated Tradier failures while retrieving balances. Interesting. Okay. The order history tool also failed. That might be something else. Safest fix is not to simply lower the cash balance blindly. I recommend these changes. Resolve the trader connectivity problem first. Use one decimal fraction sizing where the broker supports it. Use broker compatible order settings. So this is not going to work because Tradier does not support fractional shares like this, or at least I don't think we support it in LumiBot. If you could check if that's supported by Tradier or not, that's a big question here. But like, I mean, I think we could also make some other logic changes where it's like, okay, I can't buy shares of this one thing, so I'll buy more shares of another one that kind of allow it to go a little bit above its allocation for other things that have a small enough cost. Like, what do you think about something like that? Or maybe we could do a tradier, but I don't know if it's possible with them. This AI has gotten a lot smarter. This is actually very good. This is a very good analysis.
Hey, I tell you, I've been using Fable, and it's very impressive.
It is very good. I agree. It's too expensive though. Like I got
Well,
it. They got rid of it from the pro plan. I'm out. I canceled.
oh dang,
Yeah. I agree. I think it's probably the best AI on earth right now, but
yeah,
what's the point if I have to spend, $1,000 a month just to like do some basic stuff?
right.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
even
yeah.
by you using Fable, you ran out of. I mean, I'm talking about to write your code, not to run your trading bots, but in order to write the code.
Yeah, no, that is what I mean. I mean to write the code, right?
Okay,
I use Codex over Fable, right?
okay,
I think GPT 5.6 is not as good as Fable. Like it's just not. Like I mean all the analysis behind it, whatever, like it's just not as good. But it is very, very capable. And if you use 5.6 Soul on Ultra, it gets pretty damn close, right? It's
okay,
not as good as Fable, but it's very close. But the cost is like significantly lower. I mean, it costs like 10 times less. So to me, that's worth it, right? Like,
yeah,
would I rather pay 10 times more to get something that's a little bit better? or would I rather get just 10 times more usage, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I choose. I mean, it depends on how much you use it. Like, I mean, I use this stuff like crazy. Like, I run out very fast, right? So for me, when I was using Fable, I was able to use it like 5 minutes at a time. I mean, like, I like used it. It would build some really cool stuff. I'm like, this is amazing. And then it's done. 10 minutes in, it's done. And then now you have to wait 6 hours to use it again. It was like, it's not, for me, it's not worth it, right? If you have a
Yeah.
company that's willing to pay for that, absolutely, you should do that. But
Right.
yeah, for me, like my bank account hurts too much using Fable, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How have you been, Stacy, by the way? It's been a while.
Yeah. It has been. I've been doing well. I finally bought a boat. So I've been,
Nice. Yeah, you were talking about getting one. So you finally got one?
yeah, I finally got one.
Amazing. Very cool. What'd you end up getting?
I ended up getting a 29-foot Robalo. It's a Robalo R300. It's a center console like fishing boat. So it has twin 300s on it.
What's it called? Robalo.
Sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's a 2007 Robalo R300. So just take all of that out in the beginning. But you take the 29-foot. Let me see. The one, yeah, the one, I guess
Since
it,
you got a doctor, you still you take it as a trailer.
oh, I have a dock. I have like a
Right.
lift on the
There we
back of
go.
my house.
Perfect. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were
So
you
you can
Dock
click,
costs more
by
than the
Tampa?
boat.
Were you by Tampa?
yeah. I'm actually in St. Petersburg.
Okay, okay.
Beautiful area. I love that area.
Yeah.
You go south of Longboat Key and Sarasota and the beaches just in that area. That's really the East Coast or the West Coast side of Florida I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real nice. When I first got it, I thought it was going to be just all easy. It's like it's a learning curve. And
Drive it.
actually driving it, owning it, maintaining it, knowing just the rules and regulations. Um, since it's a big boat, you have to be careful when you go out during low tide. Because the first time I went out, yeah, click the one right there, the one to your right, the big one, the big picture. It changed. Yeah, that's a change. But it looks like that, the console part. So you click the U 2007 Robalo R300.
Let's visit this website. There you go. This it?
Yep, that's it.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so it
Get
looks
a
like
twin
that.
engine, you get out there in the ocean quite a ways, buddy. That's nice.
Yeah, I could go 50 to 100 miles offshore. And so now I'll tell you this, just for me to fill up the tank, it costs $1,800.
We can't
Wow.
talk about that now. We only talk about the good stuff. Come on.
How long does that tank last? Like how long can you go for that?
It depends on how you drive. If I drive at the optimal speed, let's say cruising around like 30 miles an hour, I can get about 1.6, 1.8 miles a gallon.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean from like a practical standpoint? Like what does it actually last you in terms of like a week or a month or
For me, it's going to have to last a long time. So I guess really it depends on how far you go out. 'Cause I just got it, I only took it out like a few times. On practical, to be realistic, um, I would say about a month.
that is expensive. It's like 2 grand
Yeah,
on fuel. Holy shit.
about a month. And that's being conservative. If I was to go out like deep sea fishing or something, you can burn maybe about a you could spend about $900, 900
Yeah, especially if
for
you
one
take
day.
some
In
speed
one
getting up.
go?
Yeah, if you go out far. So let's say if I was to go out about 30, mm, let's say like 30 to 50 miles offshore, you can easily push around like a thousand. But a lot of times it depends on how wide open you have the throttle. The
Depends how
faster
fast
it
you want to get
goes,
out there. Yeah.
yeah,
Very nice, Stacy. Very cool. I belonged to Freedom Boat Club for about 3 years and actually a little more than that. And I was we were in like 23-foot cobias and stuff like that. Love the center console. It's really great. And
yeah,
I like you, I was always watching the depth finder. Those sandbars come up quick and they change constantly, so you always got to be watching your depth.
yeah. Because when you see the wide open ocean, you would think that it's all deep, but
Exactly. Yeah.
you have to look at the color. If it's like a light color, then you know it's
Yep. It's getting shallow.
sandbar.
You
Yeah,
got a little brown, you got a little tinge to it, a little light tinge to it. You're coming up on shallow water.
yeah,
Very cool, bud. I wish you a lot of success, a lot of fun.
yeah. Appreciate it.
What do you do? Do you go fishing out there or just go, uh, hang out or what?
Well, when I have my girlfriend with me, I have to take her to the islands in the sandbar because she don't want to go fishing. But when I'm by myself, I go fishing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gotta look cool. That's all.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I got to join you guys out in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The
Yeah.
next time you come down, I'll take you out on the boat.
Yep. Get one of
Hey,
those high
that's a good
quality
reason to come out.
sunbirds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take you up on that one for sure. Next time we're around Tampa, absolutely.
Okay.
Love to see this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really want to move out to Florida, but the fact that we're having a second kid kind of slows that plan down a little bit.
yeah.
How is Alicia and Lukey? How's everybody doing?
Good, everyone's doing really well. Yeah,
Good.
Luke is growing up really fast. He's getting to talk a lot now, so like he can actually communicate. He can like feed himself now. He's really developing a personality. So it's just amazing watching him like grow into like a little boy.
Person. Yeah, no, that's very
Little
cool.
person,
Enjoy it.
yeah. And Alicia's definitely starting to go full-fledged prego right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, here it comes. Those diapers are coming, buddy.
Yep. Yep. December, we'll be ready.
Very cool.
Yep.
I'll
Luckily,
root for the 29th. That's my birthday. Late tax deduction for the year works perfect. Go for the 29th of December.
that's your birthday, 29th of
Yep.
December?
Yep.
Oh wow. Right before New Year's, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was got the tax deduction for 1959. Right before the end. And the worst time though is you get about 5 presents under the tree for Christmas, and you open 4 for Christmas and save 1 for your birthday. That sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna do that to her. It's gonna be a girl, by the way.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank
Excellent.
you. Yeah, so we'll have one of each.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think this is I guess you get different things out of it, right? Like the girl, I feel like she'll probably be like when I get older, she'll be calling me on the phone, checking up on me, that sort of thing, like more nurturing. And the boy, we gotta teach him to start building some cool stuff with his life, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this thing here. Deposit adjusted returns.
Please tell Alicia I said hi.
I will.
Both
I
Jackie and I
absolutely
said
will.
hi. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so yes, your concern is valid. Traders public API, even though fractional trading maybe exists in parts of consumer brokerage experience, the API documentation and trader related integration evidence indicate that submitted equity quantities must be integers. Looney-Bot's fractional shares equals true capability does not override a broker API limitation. This is wow, our AI is really starting to get a lot better. Like, holy crap, this thing actually analyzes very well. Yeah, it's like it read their docs, like read through all this stuff. This is actually amazing. Your safe strategy currently does this for new allocation. That explains why expensive stocks can leave cash unused. There's also a separate live issue. The deployment logs show the repeated trader 500 errors. Recommended strategy design. Your proposed idea is reasonable, but I would implement it as a controlled residual cash allocator, not an under restricted over allocation. That makes sense. So build logic, calculate each symbol's ideal dollar allocation, calculate whole shares, and then enforce maximum overweight cap. For example, no more than 15% above target weight. Okay, this sounds great. This would allow the portfolio to use more cash while keeping the model portfolio recognizable. For limitation with whole share only trading, exact target weights are impossible. The strategy must choose between leaving some idle cash, overweight, cheaper stocks slightly, or buying one share of expensive stock and accepting larger overweight. Okay, so can you explain to me exactly what changes you recommend? I agree with what you're saying here. This is actually a very good analysis. Um, like the leftover cash kind of idea, I think makes a lot of sense. So what do you recommend to do there exactly? How exactly would you do this? And then can we run a back test to see whether that actually works properly or not? Wow, our AI has really gotten a lot smarter. Holy crap. Finally. Took so much work to get it to be able to do this sort of stuff. It's surprisingly difficult to make AI agents. Or I guess you'd call this an AI harness at this point. Okay. This seems like a lot of stuff to do here, and I thought we actually got a lot of stuff done already. And then the question is too, if we restart this strategy, is it going to work properly or not? And then apparently there's a bunch of 500 errors that are happening with Tradier. I don't know if that has to do with this strategy or something else, but that's what the other agent was telling me. What we would need to do is make this thing be able to handle deposits. So like what exactly needs to be done for that? Right? Let's keep it simple. Like you're telling me all this crazy stuff you want to do here. Why you want a missing event alarm? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just want to make sure deposits work properly, that it calculates that properly, and that when I restart it, it doesn't lose all the history, account history. That's it. How can we do that? What's the game plan around that? And what questions do you have for me? Okay, so see that. And then alpha picks. This is where we're at with alpha picks. Let's see. Alpha pick source is healthy now. It's health endpoint, da da da. Version 103 is a correct latest strategy base. It uses 50 delta. July 9th rotation partially worked. July 10th restart failed for a separate reason. Strategy plan, create 104 directly. Delete the freshness constant, timestamp parsing, health. Make every schedule notification, reconstruct trading, save from primitives. This is a little too complicated. Can you just make this simpler? Do all your research up front right now, run the back test, tell me what's going on here, and then what do we need to do? Like, let's keep this simple, please. please do all of your research and back testing and all of that stuff up front right now. Okay, so we got that going. And let's see where we're at with Poly Market. Oh, Poly Market. Let's see. We haven't given this any love for a few minutes. Okay, bottom line, Louis Bot really did place Poly Market trades. The two $5 withdrawals were transfers into a separate API deposit wallet, not vanished funds or two individual bets. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, the regular Poly Market website is displaying a different wallet, which is why the trades and remaining balance are missing there. Interesting. Website wallet now. Okay, so I have an API wallet with $2 in it. And then we have the website wallet with 19. That's confusing. That's not sharing this. Bet, will the USA win the FIFA World Cup? That's why I lost some money. I actually bet on that. I got it to just like bet on whatever. That would have been fun though. That would have been a nice payout.
I was betting Argentina
Yeah.
ever since I saw Egypt.
Are
Egypt.
they still in or no?
Yes, dude, they were. It was when they played against Egypt. It was so rigged. It was terrible. It was
Argentina
bad.
is a really good team.
Huh?
World Cup. I
That was
personally
bad.
think it's going to be Argentina and France at the end.
Yeah, that's what it is right now. I
Wait,
know it's
what? Oh,
Argentina and
France
Spain right now.
lost.
It's gonna be Argentina. I think are Spain still in? I don't even know. Hold on.
I think Spain just won. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So,
I was right. Argentina and Spain. Well, it's gonna be England and Argentina, but I'm pretty sure Argentina's gonna win.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
So today, France and Spain, and
yeah. Spain
France
just won.
lost. That's crazy. And then England, Argentina is tomorrow.
Mhm.
So it might be Spain and Argentina
Yeah,
in the finals.
but I don't think they deserve it. Argentina don't deserve it.
No?
No, they got like it handed to them with the Egypt game.
Yeah, maybe. England is not that strong of a team, though. Like,
Actually, England was doing all right. They did pretty good. They had two really good players. I forgot his name now, but they're playing pretty good. I was actually impressed with them.
yeah.
Honestly, I thought Norway was gonna take them out, but I guess not.
Yeah, I saw that game. I watched the Norway-England game, and yeah, I was kind of surprised. I thought Norway was going to win too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's see. So Spain is in the finals, and then we'll probably do either England or Argentina. Let's see what happens.
I'm willing to
Well,
bet Argentina.
I think that's a good bet. I think it's a very good bet.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's already kind of set for them to win. You know,
Yeah. Oh, my computer is going very slow right now. Okay, so yeah, this thing bet on the USA, which it's not something I would have done, but it's um, you know, I was just testing. Okay. So is Lumibot working locally? Partially, but honestly is not ready to call operationally complete. 46 targeted. Okay, test passed. The current read only, the saved proof, and not place another trade. There's also a bookkeeping bug in the setup header. Activate. Okay, VPN Ontario. The current play market geobook endpoint reports this machine blocked equals true. It's such a pain that you have to use a VPN with this. Like, Play market currently documents Ontario as close only on both its website and API. Basic backtesting already exists, so it's not starting from zero. Currently appropriate for exploratory search signal. Okay. Okay, recommended game plan. Repair and clarify Loonbot locally, roughly 2 to 3 days. I hate how he says days. Preserve all wallet roles without overwriting them. Add a read-only account health reconciliation commands. Replace a stale fixed test token. Add geo block pre-flight. Enclose only behavior. This to me seems like overly complicated, and I don't know why you're telling me that's going to take 2 to 4 days. Like, please don't estimate times at all, ever. Um, like I mean, there's all these things like geo block pre-flight, like a lot of stuff we do not need. We don't need a lot of these things here, right? It also makes me think that when we run this on BotSpot, we will have to run it with a VPN or something on BotSpot as well. Just kind of stupid, but whatever. Um, or we might have to run it on like a different AWS server or something. I think we run ours in US East 1, which I think is Virginia. Yeah, I don't know where we're currently running things, so we might have to think about that a little bit. But all this stuff, we don't need all these things. Like you're overthinking this a lot. How do we get this thing actually working, trading, and showing up in the website? I want to see this in the website. Like I would like to see trades in the website. Is that possible or not? And then how hard is it to get the back testing working? And does that even make any sense? I don't know. On a betting market, it's a little bit different than back testing a trading strategy, but it's interesting because no one else is doing that. So that's kind of a cool thing. Um, and then how do we get this thing to actually trade properly? Like, I mean, I don't like a lot, like, I don't know what you're talking about here. Like, this is like way too crazy. Like, we need a simpler game plan. Please give me a much simpler game plan and let me know what questions you have for me. What questions do you have for me? Okay, so that's the poly market stuff. Get that moving. This AI trading team is still going. This just takes such a long time to backtest. Citadel leverage is at 98%. Ray leverage recovers for a bounded retry and is at 85%. When sitting on one date long enough, I'm watching for the same retry behavior. Okay, so we might have the AI trading team done soon. Got Polymarket going, got Alpha Picks going, and then this one, I might have to restart the page. Let's refresh this page. Oh, there we go. Okay. The back test is going. It's a little slow. I don't know why it's backtesting over such a long time period. Okay, it's been running for 10 minutes. We got another 21 minutes left. But this is looking pretty good. Okay, so I implemented residual cash approach. So I think this is like what we'd want, Gil, right? So basically it goes through everything and says how much do you own of everything? And then allocates it. And then at the end of it, it should say how much money do you have left over, and let's allocate the rest of that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right? I
Hey,
think that
might as
makes
well
sense.
get, yeah, I might as well get it all working for you, you know?
Yeah, right? Like I mean, I have 10K in this account and 3K is just sitting there, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
obviously
That
going to
do
cause a
anybody
drag
any
on the
good.
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Okay, so what changed in version 40? So whole share orders only, no fractional shares, makes sense. Then first pass, each alpha pick symbol receives the largest whole share portion that fits its target allocation. Then residual cash pass, remaining cash. Oh, wow, it finished backtesting already? No, it failed. Why? It didn't recover. What the hell? Residual cash pass, meaning cash is allocated one share at a time to the most underweight eligible symbols. Yeah. Okay, overweight protection. The residual pass will not take a position more than 15% above its target allocation dollar amount. And then expensive stock handling. If a stock is too expensive for even one share, it is skipped rather than forcing an oversized position. Safety guard, if portfolio value or cash cannot be retrieved, the strategy skips sizing instead of placing orders. Okay. Okay. We got the new back test running. I think it's running version 41. What is it waiting for? Code. We're still version 40. Let's see. I'm working on this little fix right now because it like goes out of sync sometimes with our back end. Yeah, version 41. So create version 41. So what happened? Okay, the previous full period validation failed by timeout, so it did not produce usable performance. Why did it fail by timeout? What? This is weird. Can you please investigate this? Why did this strategy back test, like the last back test, why did this fail by timeout? I thought the timeout is supposed to be like 6 hours. Why did this fail? It should not have failed. And then the AI agent went off on a tangent and thought that it needed to fix a whole bunch of stuff. And I really don't like that. Also, this back test needs attention is really hard to read. It's like white text on a very light background. So it's hard to read. So please fix that in the React website. And then if the back test needs attention, I mean, it should have some sort of button or something, or at least like say what's going on here, right? Like this thing just generally looks very ugly, but it should say that it's like fixing it or something like that, right? Which it doesn't say currently. And that's literally what is happening is it fixed it, but it also fixed it in a way that I don't think is correct, right? So take a look at um, this actual conversation that I'm having too, right? And like it fixed it in a way that I don't think is right. And then it looks ugly. This is backtest needs attention. And why did it time out in the first place? It never should have. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Invalid delisted alphabet symbol. Arch defunct. What the heck is that? Multiple 10 to 12-second data provider requests per symbol. The run eventually stalled. Okay, what I changed. So added timeouts, the alpaca picks or the alpha picks API requests. I don't like that. Reduce excessive per iteration logging. Okay. Skip symbols that cannot be priced. That makes sense. Keeps the whole share residual cache allocator. Okay, good. Preserves. Okay. Actually, this is not bad. This is actually not a bad thing that I changed here. I take it back. It actually did a pretty good job. Okay, so that's alpha picks. Polymarket. Let's see what it's saying about Polymarket. Yes, API trades can show on the Polymarket website, but only if LumiBot trades through the same wallet profile the website is displaying. Our integration uses separate deposit wallet. That is the core problem. Yeah, so I think the reason why it traded through a different wallet was because of a lot of this stuff. It had to trade in some different way because of the API keys that we were able to get from the website. Like, I think you need to do some research around this because it's not, I don't think it's that simple. You're saying connect Lubibot to the website account. Like, are you sure that's even possible? I thought that we tried that and it didn't work and we had to get around it. Or do you have some new ideas that we can get around that somehow? And to answer your questions, your first question is how do you log into Polymarket account? Google/email. I log in with Google. It's a Google login. And they're saying the next one here is the existing account mandatory or will a new dedicated account be acceptable if its API trace reliably appear on the website? Yeah, that's fine. The existing account is not mandatory, definitely not. I'm just testing this, so maybe that account is just no good. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want it to reliably appear on the website. That's very important because people are going to be confused. They're going to be like running a bot and it's trading, and then they're going to look at the website and be like, "What the hell? Where'd my money go?" You know what I mean? So that's a big problem, right? And then the third question is, once connected correctly, what exact maximum amount would you authorize for one visible test trade? I don't care. We did $5 trades before. If you could do $1 trades, that's fine. $5 is fine too. And then your last question here is for back testing, do you want the practical version? Would the strategy have made money using historical probabilities? Or are you specifically interested in exact order book execution? We don't need order book execution. We just need pricing. Like the same way that we do back testing with everything else is just looking at historical prices, right? And if you bought at this price or that price, right? You don't need to have order book execution. That's way overkill. Okay, so let's see what happens here with Polymarket. This back test is still running. Taking a while to get this capacity. Let's see if this was fixed. What? Wait, why is it just a picture now? Like this is supposed to update live. What do you mean? I want the star history embed. Why did you get rid of that? I want the star history embed. It needs to update live. I don't like the fact that you put in a picture. That is not fixing it. Let's see about these deposit adjusted returns. You're right. I overexpanded this. Most of the deposit system already exists. Do not restart the strategy yet. It will probably begin collecting deposit once it gets the currently about runtime. I cannot say it will preserve and correctly recalculate the existing history today. The minimum game plan is 3 focused fixes, preserve history across the restart, flow stops old deployment and creates the old snapshots are not deleted, but this legacy deployment has no performance profile connecting old and new history. We need to update flow to place both deployments into one performance profile automatically. Apply the deposit across the combined history. No, I don't like how like this is supposed to work just normally. Like, what do you mean apply the deposit across the combined history? Like, I mean, this is supposed to like just work for everything. Like, not I don't want you to like just manually edit this one thing. That is not the correct behavior here. This needs to just work the way it's supposed to work with every strategy in every situation. And you know, if I can't restart this thing and keep my strategy history, then we need to figure out some way that that will work, right? Like if I restart this, it needs to be able to do that. I need this thing so I can restart it and we keep the history and that the deposits show up. How do we do that? And then to answer your questions, your first question is, was the July 7 deposit an ACH wire into Tradier? No, it's a transfer between two Tradier account types or a transfer between two Tradier accounts. But all of those should work. An ACH wire or wire transfer or whatever. It doesn't matter how the money got into the account, whether it got transferred from another account or an ACH or a wire or whatever. All of that should count as a deposit. And same thing with withdrawals, right? It doesn't matter how it got withdrawn. It's just the fact that it was a withdrawal, period. Right. And then your second question is you're asking me when you say restart, do you mean updating and redeploying through BotSpot's normal approval page? Yes, that is exactly what I mean. And I want to run a new version. I'm working on a new version of the bot right now where it's making some small changes. So I would want it to work like that, like restart through botspot and it maintains all the history. How do we make sure that that works without editing our database in any way? Something that will work for everyone's accounts in every situation, right? I don't want to do like any weird hacking or anything like that here. It's not only for the strategy, it's for any strategy like this, right? We need to have deposits and withdrawals working properly. For it doesn't matter how they were done, and restarts should automatically keep the historical context or the historical account value. That needs to happen no matter what. And then your third question is, were there any deposits or withdrawals in this account during the displayed 30-day period, or only the approximately 41.59 deposit? I think it was just that one deposit, and then obviously the deposit that created the account in the first place. Right? So I think we only deposited once in this account. And then your execution order you're saying here is, I'm only paying attention to this game plan. Your game plan is all over the place. Your execution order here is what I would consider a game plan, but it does not have nearly enough details. And I don't know why you have 9 items here, right? You're saying first thing you want to do is fix, restart, update continuity so the legacy and replacement deployment share one performance history. Yes. How do we do that in a way without editing our production database? You are not allowed to touch my database. You can't do that, not through migrations, not through anything. If you're gonna change it, then this has to just work. Like the reason why I say this is because I first of all, I don't want you touching my database. And second of all, um, this needs to work for everybody's account in this kind of scenario. There's other people that have the same situation and it needs to work for them too. So I don't like your approach here, or at least my understanding of your approach, right? And then your second thing here is adjust the combined raw history using cache events from either deployment ID. No, no, I don't like that. This needs to be code that works for everything. We are not fixing one strategy. We are making this a feature in BotSpot. Okay, and then your third thing is fix the React return card to use adjusted series. Why is that a React thing? Shouldn't that be done on the back end? Why is this being done by React? I don't understand why you would want to put this on the front end. Um, Maybe that's the right move. I don't know, but it seems strange to me. Um, but maybe you're right. I don't know. Then your number 4 is add the July 7th scenario as a regression test. Must not become profit. Sure, that's fine. Then you're saying add the 500, then startup test. Okay. What is the 500 then startup test? I don't understand what that means. Why are you talking about 500s? I don't get it. You're saying prove the complete flow in isolated dev. Yes, absolutely. Let's test this in dev first. You could test it locally first before you even in dev. You got to test it locally, right? But the problem is that we don't have any strategies like this in local, like locally that do this. But maybe we could do that. Maybe we could figure this out somehow, how to test it locally. I don't know. But testing in dev doesn't make any sense. We're either doing this in production or we're testing it locally. They're saying ship the normal releases. Okay. And number 8 is you perform the production update restart through BossPod's approval UI. Yep. And I expect you to give me that, actually. You can do that. And then you're saying verify the July 7 event appears, the old chart history remains visible, and the 30-day return changes from plus 55% to approximately a cash adjusted result. Yes, that makes sense. Something that you missed from here and that we talked about, I talked about this with another agent in the past, is we should put on the chart, make it like very transparent. There should be like a mark on the chart that someone can scroll over and like get more details that shows that there was a deposit on that day, right? We got to make this transparent so other people know exactly what's going on here. Okay, so anyways, I feel like this is still not very well researched yet. There's still a lot of stuff we got to go through, and a lot of details we got to go through. Please take your time, do the research properly, then come back to me with a very well researched and very detailed game plan. You gave me a very minuscule game plan. What you called exact execution order is what I considered a game plan, and that is not very well researched and not very detailed. Okay. And then let me know also what other questions you have for me after going through all this as well. I expect some more questions from you. Okay, cool. I don't know why this is taking so long to backtest. So waiting for capacity for a while. Okay, I mean, I think most of this stuff at this point is just a waiting game, right? It's past 11 o'clock right now. Oh, this actually is not working correctly. So on should check alpha pix status stable. Is all five. Okay. Wait, what? Why did you run 8 back tests? No wonder why we're waiting for capacity. Why are you running 8 back tests? I asked you for 2, not 8. What are you talking about? Please stop them and run proper back tests. We only need 2, one for 5,000 and one for 100,000. I did not tell you to test 10%, 11%, 12%. I did not ask for that, right? We can make an assumption here. If it's 25% and has a 70% drawdown, then what is the math for the 30% drawdown? That's it. Please stop all these tests. No wonder my back tests aren't working. I was wondering what the heck's going on here. Please stop all of them and only run back tests for the correct percentage and for 5,000 and 100,000. And then we can talk about once those back tests complete and if everything is all good to go, then we can talk about actually deploying this. And I would expect you to create a link that I can click on to update this deployment. Okay, cool. All right. Well, like I said, these things are all running on their own. It's going to take some time for everything to finish. I'm pleasantly surprised by how good our AI has gotten. This is actually pretty damn impressive what it's able to do now. Because it got all the stuff right. It's this is almost as good as Codex now. Like it's starting to get to that point. We're gonna keep working on it. We're gonna keep making it better, but I think it's starting to get to that point, right? Because we're very narrow, we're specialized, right? So we could be a lot better than these other AIs specifically around trading. So this is perfect. Okay. Anything you guys want to talk about before we finish up for the night?
I think the bot spots may be stuck or hung.
Why do you say that?
I've been trying to run a back test and it's been stuck for a while.
Yes, that is literally what I just talked to this thing about.
Yeah.
Because this agent decided to run 8 back tests at a time. So that's why it's basically taking up our entire backtest thing. So
Okay.
this should become available very soon because I told it to stop it, right? This agent somehow decided to go off and run 8 backtests at a time. I
Yeah.
think we could like maybe add limitations on accounts. They could only run like 2 backtests per account or
think
something like that.
I think we should ask it to like ask us permission to carry on and do something like that because, like I said, stuff like this happened with me before. It just started doing stuff automatically.
Yeah,
I lost track of like what's it going to do, you know?
yeah, for sure. I agree.
I think
Yeah,
the agent timeout.
it's not even about the agent. It's that's running these back tests on our infrastructure. And the problem is that like I mean, I'm thinking about this too because we're about to have a hackathon on Sunday, and I'm just thinking if I have a room full of people trying to do this all at once, right? Like this is going to be a problem. Um, so we should also talk about some sort of back testing limitations or something. I think we have 10 back tests at a time that are allowed right now. Maybe we should talk about improving that, like increasing that to like 20 or something, or even more. And then we also need to impose limitations per user so that it should not be possible for one user to take up our entire pipeline. You know what I mean? Like you took up our entire pipeline by doing all 8 back tests, and now nobody can back test. And you're the reason why that happened, and that should not be possible. I think we need to limit it to like 2 back tests per user at a time or something like that, or maybe even 3. But this can get very expensive very quickly. Let's talk about this. Tell me what you think. I personally think we should increase the total number of back tests. Maybe we should go to like 20 or 30. And then we need to impose limitations per user. And then I'm also wondering whether it's like counting backtest minutes correctly as well, because I don't know if that was implemented correctly or not. So please do all the research around that too.
Can you limit resources, the amount of resources per user, maybe?
Yeah, I
That's,
mean, yeah,
that's
that's kind of what it is, right? It's like this thing ran 8 at a time. We only have capacity for 10, so this thing ran 8. So it took up everything, right? And it's like
I've
it's okay, it's one thing if I'm on a call like this, but it's another thing if I'm in a room full of people and they're all trying to backtest all at the same time, right?
Yeah, no, understood. Yeah. Like I said, I think you need to put the agent in timeout, put him in a corner, tell him he doesn't get dinner tonight,
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
get his attention. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so Maurizio should start working for you soon. So the first stop call hit the local compatibility endpoint. I'm switching to production.
It's still saying stop, but it's like still hung for me.
Yeah, give it a few minutes because this is
Okay.
still trying to figure out how to stop this. It's stopping them now. So if you give it a few minutes, it should work. Yeah, back to status, running false, force stopped. So it looks like it's probably gonna start working soon. Let me maybe I'll give it like a minute or two just to make sure that it all works. Because you see mine isn't the same thing. It's saying waiting for capacity as well. Yeah, it's not fair to have like one user be able to take up our whole capacity, right?
Yeah.
Like that should not have been possible. It's good. All these little things keep coming up. The more you use it, the more these little bugs and little nuances and gotchas, right? It's the world of software. Force stopped, force stopped. Okay, all 8 are now confirmed for stopped. Before launching into replacements, I'm checking the exact parameter names. 10.71% allocation, that's very specific. Let's see how long it takes for this thing to work. Is yours working yet, Maurizio? Okay. Do that. In the meantime, let me take like poly market here. You're right to question it. We already tried the obvious use Google accounts, website, wallet, path, and Polymarket rejected it. I should have presented that as a simple connection. Actually failed. Google's login created a Polymarket proxy wallet. We had this configure signature to one, the Google Magic proxy mode. The Polymarket return maker address not allowed. Please use deposit wallet flow. This was a real Polymarket rejection, not a LumiBot bug. However, the smoke artifact shows derived and processed false. Script loaded API credentials. The one existing account test was worth trying. We should try exactly once. Keep the current working deposit while untouched. Derive a fresh temporary pseudo credential set directly from the exported Google Magic signer. Funder, the original website profile, proxy wallet. Okay, so give this a try. See if this works for you. You have access to my Chrome browser if you need to, and I'm logged into Polymarket, so you could use the Codex extension if you need to. Go through my Polymarket account, do whatever you need to do. I don't care. It's 20 bucks in there. If you spend it all, I don't care, right? You have full permission to use my Polymarket account in any way that you want. So please just try to get this to work. See if that happens. Still waiting for capacity. Right, a corrected back test, the $5,000 test, they agreed minimum. Both tests remain waiting for capacity. I verified all 6 production back test workers are draining, including 5 idle workers. While you're doing this searching or whatever the heck you're doing here, can you please also check because I'm trying to run a back test myself through the website. It's still saying waiting for capacity, and we have another user that's also trying to use it and it's not working. So why is it taking so long for these back tests to come back up and running? Please make that check part of what you're doing here too, because we need to have this thing working. Okay, and then don't actually make this change to 20 back tests or anything yet. Let's first have a discussion around that, including the rule for how many back tests a user can run at a time. Let's discuss that too. And then let's also discuss the back testing minutes. Is that being calculated correctly or not as well? So let's have a discussion around all those things, please. Don't actually change anything until this is all ready. And that we have discussed it. But also, please make sure that you get back tests working for everybody again sooner rather than later because it's taking way too long. Yeah, this is taking a while. Okay. Well, I don't know how much longer we're gonna have to wait for this. So, Maurizio, if you're trying to do this, just leave it running. Hopefully, this will just get started and work on its own in a few minutes, and then we'll make it so that this kind of thing won't happen again in the future.
Okay.
Just- okay. All right, cool guys. Okay. All right, it's been a pleasure. It's great seeing you again, Stacy too, and Gil. Gil, we haven't seen each other for a couple of weeks, and Stacy even longer. So it's great to see you guys here.
Yep.
And I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, good luck on the hackathon. I'll try to keep an eye on you, see how that works out.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube. It's going to be live streaming on YouTube. So check out Lumi Wealth, the Lumi Wealth channel on YouTube. Just go Sunday. I think we're going to start live streaming probably at 2 p.m. Pacific, so like 5 p.m. Eastern. So like right after the World Cup final game. It's probably when we'll start streaming. So
Cool. Perfect.
Oh,
I'll
that'd be
keep up with YouTube then. Okay.
awesome. Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Later,
Have a
guys.
great
See
evening.
you guys.
All right. Have a good night.